And welcome, I'm Lloyd and this is the Dressing Gown Diary. We'll start off with a review of the first test of the Lions versus New Zealand 2017 and then we'll follow up with a preview of the second test. It's all to play for the Lions. They are in disarray, some might say. I mean, what happened? Firstly, there are questions. The high skill set that New Zealand brought to the game, it was unbelievable. You saw handling from Bowden Barrett, from Cody Taylor for the try, for Israel Dag, where he was under massive pressure, somehow got the ball back in the first half. The skill sets, little pop passes, constant attacking, changing the angle of attack. The Lions just didn't know what to do, couldn't get, their line speed was poor, they couldn't stop the tackles, they lost the contact zone, constant New Zealand pressure coming forward, getting over the gain line, Lions just being knocked back. They did what all good teams are told to do, attack the ball at pace. As soon as you do, it makes it very, very, very difficult to stop them. There were some big hits. Ben Teo made a couple. Certainly he enjoyed his confrontation with Sonny Bill Williams. But generally, the Lions' defence was actually pretty good. They held up to the New Zealand attack. The tries that the Kiwis scored, well, the first was a tap penalty. I'm sure Farrell will be fuming at how that happened. It wasn't a quick tap and go that you perhaps see Ben Young's famous for. This was a 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Let's see what's going on. Oh, there's space outside. And Cody Taylor, certainly with a superb finish off his ankles. I mean, a front row player to even catch the ball in that position. But then two, actually show a bit of gas to get to the line. Superb play. Now, one of the big Lions' attacking threats was neutralised for a very clever play from New Zealand. The driving line out was where the Lions really wanted to tie the Kiwis in, shorten effectively the defensive spread. But what the Kiwis did very, very successfully, they threw bodies on the floor straight away. So as soon as the Lions secured the ball, they drive over players and it would collapse. Now, was the ref correct in his interpretation? Should that be a penalty? So what I'd like to see this week, though, is the line set first and maybe change the angle of attack. So if they are bringing the line out down, it can be penalised. So it was very clever play by the All Blacks. I mean, the line out was one area of strength for the Lions. They actually stole 5 balls, but didn't then benefit from that extra play. So the line out driving maul is a big one for this coming weekend. Can they get the momentum going and tie players in? Now, another tactic that we saw a lot of from the Lions was the box kicking. Now, the problem with box kicking, it works when you've got big wingers and you can chase and they're good in the air. But it's only a 50-50 chance of getting the ball back. Now, we continue to do it late into the game where we had no possession. We were chasing the game. And I'm thinking, why haven't you changed tactics? Get a bit of possession. Get a bit of momentum going. Get some of the big ball carriers smashing into people instead of just running backwards and forwards with box kicks. The collision areas I've already talked about. This is an area that the Lions really lost. Sam Cane was all over the place, slowing the ball down when we had it and then getting in there and trying to rip it. We couldn't get near the ball for turnovers. The back row were generally quite poor. This is one of the problems. Why did we lose? There were too many players that were 6 out of 10. Farrell didn't have a great game. Omani didn't have a great game. Sean O'Brien didn't have a great game. Question marks over Wyn Jones and Cruz. Too many players were only average, and that is not enough to beat the world champions. These are guys, okay, they had a warm-up game against Samoa, but they looked so slick early on in the game, moving the ball around with confidence, changing the angle of attack. Really, the Lions just didn't know what to do. Now, as ever, you have to limit your mistakes to beat New Zealand. You really have to be on your game. Players have to be 9 out of 10, and then you have to maybe limit it to 1 or 2 mistakes. So what mistakes did the Lions make? Well, they created 5 opportunities, but they only managed to score from 2 of them. Now, this is a feature of the tour. We've got over the line 9 times and not scored. Another feature of the tour, Jonathan Davis makes these great breaks, but as a team, we're then not able to execute and score the try. This happened in the first 2 minutes. Elliot Daly, it's not his fault because it was brilliant defensive work from Israel Dag. But in that position, with that momentum, we've got to find a way of getting over. And certainly in the second half as well, where just after half time, the left-hand side, Watson's got to find a way of going over. Now, I have a view on that as well. I've slowed it down, stopped it, freeze frames. At least 3 of the Kiwi players were offside. So for me, that's a yellow card. It's 5 metres out momentum. It has to be a yellow card. And it followed up. There's a Lions kick for the corner from the penalty for offside. But then Kieran Reid comes from an offside position and nicks the ball. So clever play by the All Blacks. They played the ref. It certainly wasn't a penalty try, but there should have been a yellow card. But What did they do? Well, the try they scored in the first half has to go down in Lions folklore. Amazing bits of skill. The team functioning together, sliding together, moving so elegantly through the pitch. Some brilliant bits of play. Liam Williams, firstly, looking up, seeing what's on, leaving Kieran Reid, having a look at Kroon and going, mate, I've got the wheels on you. You are gone, Burger. Opens up, then realises he's a bit on his own, so he slows down, looks for support runners, picks up Davis. Davis intelligently moves it straight on to Elliot Daly, who fixes the winger. In and out, thank you very much. And exactly what all good back row players should do, on the shoulder, ready for the pop pass. Sean O'Brien scores. It was a brilliant try. But then you look at some of the mistakes, though. Farrell didn't make the conversion. It was easily gettable. And, you know, you get so frustrated as well. We're 10-0 down. We get a foothold in the game by getting a penalty 10-3. And immediately we can't keep the kick-off, concede a penalty, 13-3, like that. I mean, the defensive setup, Farrell will be going nuts that how you could do that. You've got to clear the ball quick, clean it up, restarts. They are big opportunities now for attacking. And we couldn't do it. So, at the end of the day, 15 points, as those that watched the Dressing Gown Diary last week will know, was what I predicted as about the spread. And so it turned out to be. The All Blacks will be frustrated that Rhys Webb got over late on. But really, the All Blacks just played a lot better. The Lions were as good as they could be, but didn't take their chances. Farrell maybe should have gone off. Some of the substitutions could have changed. You know, should as I said, Sexton come on for Farrell and then keep Teo together. So the lineup for this test, they've really switched things up a bit. Gone for the Sexton Farrell 10-12 axis. A lot of talk about that, of whether that will work. Sexton started the tour poorly, but then improved late on. So that'll be an exciting introduction. And the second row, there was a lot of debate about whether Laws gets in, Henderson gets in, and he's gone for Alwyn Jones and Itoje. Strong setup with Laws off the bench. And then Warburton in. Now, the reason Warburton's in, firstly, Omani was great at the line-out, but we didn't get the benefits from that. But we were poor in the contact area. We kept losing ball. We didn't slow their ball down enough. They were too quick off the deck. So Warburton's in there to try and cause problems. But we're up against a Kiwi team. You know, they've only lost twice ever in the cake tin. And the last time they lost was in 2003 against England. We're up against a team that are in form. So the question is, can the Lions improve by more than 15 points? Because I've no doubt that this Kiwi team will improve yet further. There's probably 10 or 15 points. So can the Lions find 30 points? The answer to that, sadly, in my head, is no. I can't see a way that the Lions can produce the type of game they need to win. Now, I've had questions firing in from TFL. I mean, SL wants to know what the 3 key areas that the Lions can focus on. Line speed has to be it. Get the defensive line up and win that contact area. The second, the attacking rolling maul, as I talked about earlier. Holding the ball up, take big, steady, then going, so the penalty can be conceded. And the final part is accuracy. We've created opportunities. It's been a story through the tour. Created opportunities, but not executed. So it's crucial that we can find a way through the All Blacks defence. We did open them up, but we didn't take the chances. And that is why we ultimately ended up losing. You have to take your chances against New Zealand. You will have opportunities to get on top, but you know full well you're going to have to defend with your lives. If the Lions find themselves behind after 60 minutes, it's as good as over. I can't see a way of getting back. But fingers crossed. Heart tells me, Lions by 2. Head tells me New Zealand by 20. I hope it isn't a travesty, and I hope there is a game to be played, but it's very exciting. But look, this is Dressing Gown Diary, over and out. For those out in Estonia, enjoy yourselves. Catch you later.